Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to the Aegean coast. It's Arkas IZMIR against Berlin Recycling Volleys this evening, and it's match day 6, the final match in Pool A of this CV Champions League sponsored by DenizBank. Well, this is how we stand going into the final game, and only a single point separate the top team and the former champions Belgorod and Arkospor, the team here in Izmir. Berlin, former Final Four host, of course, from last year down, can't qualify with 7 points. For them, it's all about trying to move on to the next tier of CV competition. The leadership of the group is up for grabs, though. It's going to be a difficult task for Arkas. They have to hope that the former champions lose tonight. They're a team that hasn't got a single point yet over in Bulgaria. But this is the lineup, a very experienced lineup. Of course, you've got the United States international libero Eric Shoji. He's there with the likes of Fisher, who've been at this club for a long, long time. And the captain and big opposite from Australia, Paul Carroll. All under the orders of Roberto Cerniotti. And the volumes turned up here at this Atatürk Sports Hall as the local band starts to play. Well, this is the home side. They're the Turkish Cup and League champions. They're coached yet again by Glenn Hoag of Canada. They've got a couple of foreign stars. There is Glenn Hoag. He's been in this sitting for a long, long time now. He's taken them to 4th place, remember, in recent years. 2012, they were there in Łódź at the Final Four. And it looks as though they're having a very good season here. They're not yet destined or secure in their qualification. They've won 4 from 5, 1 point behind Belgorod. Currently the second best, second place team, if that makes sense. So they need a win at least to be sure of progress to the first. Remember, only group winners, plus the couple of second best place teams, are guaranteed to go into the playoff 12s. Well, Arkas will be in their traditional colours of dark blue and white, and Berlin Recycling Volleys in those orange jerseys we're used to seeing. Well, this sports hall holds around 3,000 people, nowhere near full this evening. It's quite early in the evening, just gone 7 p.m. A lot of people still at work in Izmir at this time of day. And I can tell you it's absolutely freezing outside as well. Snowing on the coast here, where most people come for their summer holidays. It is very, very cold, 0 degrees exactly. But in here, it's going to be a boiling hot atmosphere. Arkas need to win to be sure tonight. And that's exactly what they're going to try and do. Of course, they could yet go through as group winners. There are, I can count 5 supporters that have accompanied the team over from the German capital, Berlin. Nice to see them make the trip. And the gentleman in the orange jerseys is exactly who they will be cheering on. The 6-time German champions. The last time they won it was in 2014. Friedrichshafen beating them in the league final last year. Failed to win a trophy, in fact, after a very, very promising start of the year. They then had to suffer the loss of their coach, who moved to Poland. These are the gentlemen that will be in charge tonight. The left-hand side, Goran Gradinsky from Serbia. He's the first referee this evening. And he's going to be assisted by the man on the right-hand side, who hails from Italy. And it's a very good evening to Daniele Rapisarda. So a handshake. And we're all ready for the players to be introduced and those starting 6s to be known. Arkas in blue, Berlin in orange. One of Turkey's most successful volleyball teams in the country's history. But what about the visitors? Well, they're going to start with big number 6 in the middle, Felix Fischer. In alongside him is the Frenchman Nicolas Le Goff, wearing 7. Wearing 9, Paul Lotman, the man from the United States, signed from Resovia in, of course, the Polish league. They were excellent last season. Paul Carroll plays in the opposite, the big Australian. 13 is Ruben Schott, the German hitter. And the setter in this team, Sebastian Kühner. Libero for them will be number 2, Eric Shoji, who tonight faces his brother. That's because setting for the home side will be the number 7, Kawi Khashoggi, who tonight plays against his former club. Aki Chapkanoglu will play in the middle. Number 4, Antonin Rousier of France is the star opposite. as we look at the Berlin team with Carroll in that opposite position. Lugoff, Schott, Lottmann, Kühner, the setter, and Fischer, who'll be there as well. Well, as the teams were announced, this is how it looks on the screen. Graham Vigras is the man who starts right in the middle, the Canadian. Borges, the very experienced Brazilian, wearing 26. And Shoji there as well. Well, Arkas will start us off. Çapkınoglu moves over. Back to tell a lie, it's going to be Paul Lottmann to get us underway from right to left. Referees, coaches, just making sure everybody's in the right positions. There's Gökhan Gököz, 23-year-old hitter from Turkey. Haki Çapkınoglu is the man who's going to come out for the libero first, and it's a two libero system. The man taking his position now is Ahmet Karataş, the 24-year-old from Turkey. So there's Lottmann, the American hitter, signed from the Polish league this year. He'll get us on the way right to left, wearing 9. And it's a late leave. A disappointment for Lottmann. And there was disappointment at the weekend, in fact, for Berlin, who lost in the Bundesliga for the first time this season. 11 wins, just 1 defeat, and they still have an 8-point lead at the top of the table. First chance for their setter to get on the ball. Looks for Carroll, naturally. He's left-handed hit on that opposite side. Off the head of Shoji after it come out the hands of Lottmann, and it's 2-0 Arkas IZMIR. From one Shoji to another. Sibling rivalry this evening in Turkey. Kawika Shoji against his former club and his brother. Those in orange know all about his serve. He was there for 4 years, the setter. He can't pick that up, the United States international. And there's the man from the same household. Of course, it's a well-known volleyball household. Father Dave, one of the top coaches in the United States. First side out for Berlin Recycling Volleys. They were on the contact, nothing given. Takes the block out though. Roberto Cerniotti, the Italian coach of Berlin, was straight up off his chair there, looking towards the referee. That was the block out though. 3 up, just blocking down the wrong line. And here is Mauricio Borges Almeida Silva, the Brazilian. And it's an ace. Well, if you heard the big build-up from the band behind, you'd say they did their job. They say they're the 7th man. First ace of the match, 4-1, and a good start for Arkas, who won the away match 3-2 earlier in the season in the German capital. There's the take, it's a nice one. Chance for Kühner to spread it out wide. Shot with the hit, despite the efforts to keep it going in the backcourt. 3 touches already made. Mauricio's serve is sided out. Just. Ace! Carroll can do exactly what Mauricio did to them a moment ago. 3rd in the group, 7 points for Berlin. They've had their 2 victories, of course, against the Bulgarian side. Dupința remain pointless. Carroll this time sends it long. They did take a point from the first meeting of these 2 sides. It was an absolute thrilling match, 3-2 the score. 2 points, of course, the winner is IZMIR on the night. First look from the service line at Graham Vigras, 26-year-old from Canada. Only Canadian player on the roster this year. They have had multiple Canadians in the past, given the fact that their coach hails from there. 6-3. And the early lead's got the crowd going. Big grass to float it again. Nicely taken. Kuhn ambitious with the set, putting it high. Shoji's down well though. Means that his colleagues are going to have to set for him. And that looks like a miss. Rousier, the French opposite, putting it wide. Not happy with it. Was playing his first season in Turkey. Here's Ruben's shot. Into the net. Schott takes it down. Kuhn to Lottmann. Kuhn set up in again in the corner of the Lottmann. It was a poor set. It had to be hit with a left hand by the United States player. And in the corner, it's won by Gökhan Gökers. And at the first technical, there's a 4-point difference. Just off the hands of the big man in the corner. Kuhn doing his best in the jazz. Berlin down early on. Well, apart from trying to put the opposition off, the band being highly entertaining, really helping get the atmosphere going. They need that atmosphere tonight, Arkas Sport. Yes, they might be the Turkish champions. They might be the cup winners as well, yet again. But they really do need the win. A victory of some sort tonight, 3 points preferable, to make sure they go through to the next round as one of the best second-place teams, or if there were to be a huge surprise in the match involving Dupinsa and Belgorod, maybe the group winners. That's good work from Kuhn, the setter. Really good work to take it off the top of the net. But the hit wasn't good enough. And Arkas Sport, through Antonin Rousier, their French opposite, can put the ball down. 9-4. It's a good start, this, aside from the Aegean Sea. Carroll's going to have to save that one, all the way up to Lottmann, who sets the ball over the net. Back there comes Shoji on the ball. It's exactly what they want. It's taken a touch. It's Eric Shoji with the final touch, but no communication right there in the middle. Cerniotti, the coach, is not happy. Wants to call timeout, and finally can do. Look at this. Talk to each other. 10-4. The Germans aren't going to be happy with this. Well, coach just saying, yes, there was a strong service at the minute, but we've got to deal with it better. Has been a passing problem, you feel, so far for Arkas. For Berlin, pardon me. Arkas are doing nothing wrong. 10-4, here they go again. Once more a wayward pass. Reception and passing is all over the shop. And it's Rousier now who's trying to take advantage of that. A side out, any side out will do here. Shoji readies himself, it's gone long. And that is the first building block to trying to get themselves in this opening set. Brings the experienced Felix Fischer to the line. He's now trademark headband. Nice takedown from Mauricio as Rousier hits. It's kept alive well. Carroll was brilliant there. Shoji, imaginative setting. And spectacularly put home by Rougier, who's really enjoying his evening so far. Perfectly placed set from Shoji. This is Gökhan, who sends it long. Gökhan, the big Turkish hitter, 23. Time for Sebastian Kühne to try and get his side into this set. Libero's down well, and that's exactly what they were looking for. Done well when called on has Ahmed Karataş. Lovely passing for the man in green. Haki Çapkınoglu just drops the ball over the net. Reception struggling. Kühne can't do anything with that. It's just going to have to go straight over. Shoji on the ball. Mauricio gets his block out. And Berlin at the minute powerless to stop this onslaught. Difference now up to 8. Shoji at the minute running the show against his former club. Haki Çapkınoglu again. Once more dropped over. Kühne, they look for the middle hit, but it's going to come straight back. Eric Shoji now. Kühne again. Oh, and it's blocked off. They had only one man in the middle. And it's not been a happy watch so far for the Berlin Recycling Volleys fan club. Super stuff from Graham Vigras. Went for the same set twice, and it was highly predictable. As it's a poor serve this time from Haki. Haki Çapkınoglu. Now 25. He's the more experienced Paul Lotman. Nicely taken. Shoji. Oh, nice fake through the middle there. The attack was coming from the back row. And they haven't just been playing effective volleyball, they've been playing pretty aesthetic volleyball as well, Arkas IZMIR. It's good stuff so far. Oh, nothing to say for Glenn Hoag there at the technical timeout. Little chat with his setter. And as is usually the case, certainly with the best setters, those who have those fantastic tactical minds. Kawika Shoji running the show, not only in his play, but also directing operations. One of the top players in the game, the man from Honolulu. He studied at Stanford University, already a winner of the World League and the World Cup with the United States national team. If they can keep the current group of players together, they'll be a big, big team to watch out for at the next World Championship 3 years' time. It's the Olympic Games before then, though. Shoji's set taken by his brother Eric. Carroll to hit on the left hand. Here is Shoji setting up into the corner. Block out from Rougier. Well, the reception was better that time from Berlin. Managed to at least get the ball into transition. But then this came back off the head of the blocker shot. Another point. 10 they lead now. Powerful serve by Kawika Shoji. Up for shot. Looking for the block out. Shoji's going to be able to pass the ball here for Mauricio. Counter-attack chance. Here's Kühne, exactly what Berlin needed. But that's a big miss. Timeout, I think, on the way here. Or we're going to have a substitution. And it's going to be Francesco De Marchi, the Italian hitter. He comes on to replace Ruben Schott, a German who really has had no joy so far. Call that a punishment for the miss a moment ago. 18-7, one-way traffic in this first set. Shoji And it's a reach over the net in an attempt to save that poor reception. Vigras was up there as well, and here does come the timeout, 19-7. And you have to say that from a Berlin point of view, it's a horror show so far. What does the main man have to say about it?
Now, take all the time for service. It's necessary we enter in the match with service. Again, the service strong, ready for the ball to win. Okay, after what is possible, also play primo tempo. But you distance with
They can well have stopped listening to him then. He didn't look like the attention spans were too long. Wants to get his team in and helpful, useful with the serve. They've got to receive it first. And it's an ace from Shoji, who is doing a lot of damage against former teammates, and I'm pretty sure good friends. Perfectly placed in the corner. Another one. Eric Shoji takes down, hammered home on the rebound from Graham Vigras. Well, it's the Shoji show, and not that of the younger brother. He's not dangerous on the set. He certainly is on the serve as well. He's been both in this set. Again, it's dangerous. And that's another miss. No touch. I don't think there was any smell of a touch there. Nice reception. Through the middle, Shoji's down brilliantly. So unlucky. Well, a bit of fight, if not the technical brilliance we're used to from the German stars. Rousier was up there brilliantly. Pretty safe to say that Arkas haven't put a foot wrong yet, and that is, I'm pretty sure, something that Berlin can take comfort from. Surely they can't play this well all match. Good work. Shoji into the corner. Eric Shoji attempting to go down, and it's going to be set point. In quick fire time, 18 minutes is all of it's taken. Shoji for the set. Nicely taken. There's Zajuski. And finally a side out. Jaguski did well, the former Molfetta player. Looking for Carroll, squeeze through the hands. "16 set points to defend, big ask. Shoji through the middle, and that is set one. Arkas IZMIR showing no mercy whatsoever. Less than 20 minutes is all it took. 1-0 as far as they're concerned. They're heading to the next round. They're heading for the playoffs. What can Berlin do about it? It was the Shoji show in set one. His former club, Berlin Recycling Volleys, know they're capable of better. They're top of the Bundesliga. They're bossing it at home. They need to find their European form, and quick. We're back with set two in just a couple of minutes' time. Well, nothing to say again for Glenn Hoag, no need. They've done their job as well. They've been brilliant in set one, the Arkas band. He's had hardly any decision to make. Goran Gredinsky, pretty sure he'll be happy if it stays that way. Looking around, no expected changes certainly to the Arkas lineup. Interesting to see if Cerniotti decides to change anything. Of course, we did see the reserve setter Timofej Jakuski, the Croatian, towards the end of the last set, but it does look like Sebastian Kühner will be the man to start again, the number 10. Well, they're a great club, Berlin Recycling Volleys, one of the top community clubs in the whole of the Champions League. They hosted fantastically the European qualifying tournament for the Rio Olympics just a couple of weeks ago. They get thousands and thousands watching every week, and I'm pretty sure that this set of players working this evening will be hoping to try and at least put a smile on their face. This is what happened in set one, and the statistics make great reading if you're an Arkas fan. Not so good if you're watching from Germany. 3 aces for the home side, 13 attacks to just the 3 put together by the Berlin side. And look at the errors, 7 profited by Arkas IZMIR. Same 6 then for them. Vuzier, Mauricio, Shoji, Gökhan, Haki Çapkınoglu and Graham Vigras. Le Goff is back, as is Carroll. Shot is given another opportunity too. Felix Fischer there, and staying in that setting position, Sebastian Kühner. So same 6s to start off. And just to see how long Cerniotti leaves it this time, if things start going in a similar vein. And if you thought things were daunting, being a set down in just 18 minutes, oh dear, it's that man to serve again. Kawika Shoji. Back it's going to come straight away. Shoji quick to get on the ball. Mauricio's there and put down. Had to really scramble up the court to the front row there to get his set away, did Shoji, after serving. I think he was backing his middles to put it away for him. 1-0. His younger brother in the green waits. There's Schutt also. Nice take from him. Jakuski, pardon me, who does start. So in fact it is Jakuski and not Kühner who's setting, pardon me. Side out, 1-1. Is Le Goff, Frenchman who's signed from Marseille in Belgium. Well, for Berlin here, they've just got to side out a few balls, get the confidence, get themselves into the game. Stop these big service runs that we saw in set one from the Turkish champions. Mauricio. Little help with the net on the way through. Jakuski, nicely done. Felix Fischer through the middle. Fischer didn't manage a single point in set one. Shoji looks out for Wuzier's opposite. Nice work on the take. Chance to bring it back now. It's off the chicken wing from Mauricio. Pass diagonally towards Gökhan. Clever hit from him. And in a vain attempt to keep it alive, Schutt at the last minute sends it wide. Arkas getting away with one there, maybe. The Berlin is certainly a bit more live. 3-2. And here's Vigras of Canada to serve. Nicely done. Ruben Schutt, who had a bit of a nightmare first set with a hitting percentage of just 25% in attack. Puts one down and that will make him feel the power of good. Here he is to serve. Shoji's there in the front row, looks for his middle. It needed the soccer-style attempt to keep it going. And Rouzier wins a point out of nowhere. Well, they get lucky with one again there. When things are going for you, though, Chapkinoglu it was with the keepy-uppy with the feet. Blocked on, that is a brilliantly constructed block. Strong hands by Haki Chapkinoglu. He's having a good couple of points. In fact, it's off the hands of Shoji, pardon me. Jokuski. Through the middle. Rouzier getting himself into position, but not quite making the right contact. Berlin just one break point down at the start of this set, and already looking a little better than in set one. Fischer. Gökhan takes it. Too easy in that middle. Too easy for Haki Chapkinoglu. He's had free rein so far. Here's Gökhan. Eric Shoji's there, just about kept alive. Carroll, the Australian, the captain. Shoji through the middle again. Haki Chapkinoglu can't be put down. Shoji has work to do. Rouzier, they say wide, it is wide. And finally we hear those rattles of the German supporters. Nice for them to have their moment. They've come a long way here to support their team. With 3 to 4 hours on the aeroplane from Berlin. Ace. First break point of the match. Nicely done. And Jokuski. We're hoping for more of where that came from. Ahmed takes it. Shoji's got work to do here. Directs the set beautifully, but Mauricio can't hit home. It's an error from the Brazilian. Long on the diagonal. Berlin lead for the first time. Jokuski again. That looked close. That looked close. 7-all. Glenn Hoag just in front of us, pointing over the net, saying, no, yeah, it was close, but it wasn't quite in. This is Haki Chapkinoglu. It's a testing float serve. It's made the passing difficult. They're going to claim a touch, and that's what they're going to get. Good work from Lugov. Stroke of luck that Berlin needed, really. Poor reception put them in trouble. But a clear touch off the centre of the block there. That has come off the fingers of Shoji.
Weiter so, Jungs. Bravo.
Oh, the first bravo we've heard. Berlin recycling volleys. We knew they were better than that first set. They've got themselves into the match. They lead 8-7 at the first technical. Time for Paul Lottman to try and get them into the match as a whole. Shoji, Mauricio. And it's put down. emphatic way to sign out. Kawika Shoji set. Nice quick hands that time. Good take. Jakusku setting nicely at the minute. Off the block. Big ask. Oh, and it takes the touch. Again, good fight in this set from the Germans. Ruben Schott enjoying himself a little more. Le Goff. Gurkan takes down Shoji out wide and high for Rousier. There's an antenna touch there. Which side's it come from? And it's hit straight into the antenna. That'll be a point for the visitors. Here we go again. Rousier. Ooh, well. Need a closer look at that. Does look as though it's the right decision. Shoji having to get low to set that ball, blocked brilliantly. So some tough serving from Berlin, finally doing its job. And there's a timeout on the way for the first time from Arkas IZMIR. Glenn Hoag, I think he's going to earn some money for the first time tonight. Set up his players brilliantly. He's had nothing to say to them so far until now.
We're the patient team, now they're the patient team. Playing us, they're taking their time and playing quality ball. We're making a mistake. Start with our receiver, moving their feet to get a good angle on the ball to get a good reception. Okay, let's go. Let's play with the ball.
Well, we talked about the better service pressure from Berlin recycling. Evidence of that there with Glenn Hoag's first worry being the reception. Mistakes being made. Wants his team to calm down, be a little more patient. There's Gurkan, ready to take on board that advice. It is he who receives the ball. It's nicely done for Shoji. Rousier looks as though it was going to come back. It's still kept alive. Shoji again right at the net, straight to his middle, and put home by Graham Vigras. Well, that's a good way to respond to a timeout. Get exactly right from the reception what the coach said. Vigras swiping it to the left of the blocker. Deficit of 2, despite being a set up here. Mauricio to take the serve. Jakuski. First touch on the block. A little bit of hesitation there in the passing. Nicely done by Eric Shoji in the meantime to keep it alive. Here we go with Kawika Shoji on the ball. Up to Rousier, gets his touch. It's a little scrappy. They had to fight, they had to hustle. Both teams did it to an extent, but it was Arkas who had their chance, and nicely taken by the Frenchman. It is Mauricio again. On the other side this time, it's a top serve. It's made it difficult. Gurkan's there. Here's Shoji. Gurkan gets the ball back. Oh, and it's blocked. Right on the line. That should not have come straight back where it came from. And I can tell you that out of your shot, the coach Hoag is a little angry with his hitter there. He's hit the ball straight down the line of the blocker. Shoji. No question about the setting there. There's his brother Eric doing his job for Berlin. Patient volleyball now from Arkas. They had to be there. Vigras is having a good time of it now in the middle. Having an offensive game, and he comes to take the serve. A little more worried, the experienced Canadian Glenn Hoag. Cerniotti, a little more happy with things, naturally. Eric Shoji shouts, "I got it." Not too sure about the set. That's a net touch from Gurkan. And another silly mistake from Arkas. It's starting to cost them in this set. gift wrap, that one for Berlin. Here they are with Ruben Schott. Ace, brilliantly put home. And instead of serving to the outside, serving between those two positions. Not as much risk attached. And there it was effective. 3 points to lead for Berlin. And they'll start to believe there's a way back into this match from here. Kawika Shoji. And that was so important for the home side's ideas of progressing to the playoffs that Lottman put that one home. The two United States internationals combining well. Rousier hits hard, nicely kept alive. Jakunski and Carroll with that big, strong left-handed lever of his from the opposite. Well done. (15-12). Six-time German champions lead. Kawika Shoji. Shoji, by the way, who helped win 3 of those championships. Side out takes Arkas to within 2. I think they dearly love a break point or 2 before the technical if they can get it. And they have one, courtesy of an ace. Gökhan atoning for his hitting error a few moments ago. (14-15). Straight into the net. We do go to the technical timeout. Berlin still lead. They have a 2-point gap.
Very high. It's not necessary go high. Okay, against Rousier, but defend. Okay, maybe attack.
So Cerniotti wary of the Antonin Rousier attack. He attacks very, very high from that side. Shoji sets it out to his opposite, Rousier. Not able to do the damage this time. Ahmed's down brilliantly. Shoji again goes to the Frenchman. Brilliant stuff from Eric Shoji, the libero. Jakuski. And it's the contact that's been pulled up from Ahmed. Kawika Shoji. Rousier, almost infallible at the minute. Hakia Chapkanoglu. Jakuski, chance for the counter-attack here. Kawika Shoji, quick hands this time. Really, really good connection with Graham Vigras. It was out the hands and onto the hit straight away. Timeout called. And Berlin just choosing to try and stop this momentum here. Again, it's that attack, that combination between setter and opposite hitter, I think.
The ball, okay, middle blocker, you don't receive, okay, Nico. I think I use more primo tempo with Felix, with you. Till now, no many primo tempo, but okay, it's better you start the rest of the guys and
A chat with the middles. Berlin will want to side this ball out. They will not want to let Arkas in with a chance of going 2 up. Jakuski, Carroll. Oh, there's a chance now for the home side. Kawika Shoji, Mauricio, and there it is, they're level. Well, from 3 down, good fight. The first time they were under pressure in this match. And that's disappointment for the visitors. Worked really hard for their advantage. 17 all, this is anybody's set. And right at the business end now. Jakuski. Good home. With real force. I say, regardless of what happened in the match, there's a little bit of confusion in the back row. A second set would be extremely good news for Arkas. Even if they weren't to win, they'd have an extra point, an extra chance. There's a mighty mess on the German side of the net. But yeah, that extra chance just to add another point and become one of the better second-place teams if they were to finish second. Pool A so tight at the top, just 1 point between Belgorod and the team in blue here. Jakuski. Carroll, blocked off. No way through past Graham Vigras. Arkas ahead. The first time since the first couple of points in this second set. And Kawika Shoji, who finished off the first set very well, is on the serve here. Venomous serve for one of the shorter players in the game. Nicely sided out though. Le Goff will come on to take serve. Shoji, Wizier. Mauricio, who's not happy with himself. I think they probably heard that scream all the way from Germany. Carroll, Aussie captain of the Berlin side. Gökhan, Eric Shoji takes nicely. There's a chance here for the German side. Brilliantly down by Ahmed. Super save there from the libero. Might be called into action again here. And he's taken a step too far forward. There it is, a little too far forward. 1, 2 steps back maybe. And he'd have given himself a chance to control the ball. Thinking of taking time out there. They might well think about it now. It's an ace for Berlin. And they have a real serious chance now. Timeout on the way. Of course, remember this year we replaced the buzzers with the new software system and the tablet computers.
Lucas, hey, keep this in. If he goes to you, it's okay, but we cannot leave no counter half the court, huh? Think about it.
We saw the PE teacher side of Glenn Hoag then. The authoritarian side. He doesn't often show it. Understandably disappointed at this pot. With those couple of key points though, his side are ready. Change coming on the way as well, just to get a hand on that rotation. We might be seeing Bravo, the Brazilian captain of the side. Jakuski, Carroll, oh, no way through. Huge hands from Gökhan. Disappointment for the big Aussie. So 1 point the difference. Vigras. Jakuski. Kept alive. Has to be hit from all the way in the back row there from Mauricio. Another chance for Berlin. Nicely put home. No real opposition at the net. They're getting closer to having that first set point chance in the match. Ruben Schutt. Big point this. Not just the context of this set, maybe in the whole match. Reception's not great. It's bumped up, and it was all pretty predictable. Shoji to Gökhan. Gökhan perhaps should have cut the ball or played it high, rolled it. Ready with João Paulo Pereira Bravo. Going to come on to receive. So, set point not taken, but Berlin are going to have a couple of opportunities to side out for the set. That substitution is reversed, and Woodsy is exactly where the coach wants him. Big moment, has to get this serve right. Timeout taken. Good work from Cerniot. He took his time over it. Just builds the nerve on an important serve. And well, those in orange know that reception set and a successful spike will get them right back into the match. And whatever happens, it's been a really good fight here. They've been tested, managed to eke out a lead again. Here comes Woozier. Gets it right. Eric Shoji takes it down beautifully, though. This is the hitting chance. Ahmed is down well. Shoji. Gökhan. Can't put it home. The whistle's gone. Oh, well. One break point, they need another. One more set point chance here. Woozier got to get it right again. Does. Could well have been going out. Jakuski. Once more, the block, and Arkas a level. Oh, wow. Well, what a set he's had. Hakir Çapkınoglu. So disappointing in the meantime for Lotman. Woozier to keep going. Once more top service pressure. It's a big ask for the setter this time. Off the block they go again. Counter-attack chance. Woozier, Gökhan. Jakuski gets on the ball. The whistle's gone, it was a net touch. So another set point chance. 25-24. Arkas getting themselves back in it. There was the net touch. But Felix Fischer is now serving for the set. Fourth chance to take the set. There's reception, Shoji, they've got to get it right. Woodzier blocks! 1-1. And look at the delight on those visiting supporters' faces. Great fight from Berlin Recycling Volleys. I think they thought their chance might have gone away from them at the end. Arkas IZMIR have work to do if they're to guarantee their place in the playoffs. Berlin haven't just come to make up the numbers here despite being out of the Champions League. In 25 more minutes, they'll lever things up after that first set horror show. They're back in business. It's one set apiece.
Anche se una volta non mettiamo giù. Vai, continue to serve, okay? This level, that's very important.
We're backing ourselves because we play very tough. Yeah, but you see the guys on the front, it's okay.
Well, if you have a Rosier in rotation 1, okay, attention, because in rotation 1, if reception is not perfect, the ball arrives always in 4. Okay, we must be ready. Okay, the ball is normal attack more diagonal. If the reception is snack, attack diagonal. But after we don't enter. If he continue to attack high, but we enter. Okay, because he use sometimes the block. Okay, dai, continue with this personality.
Here we go. Well, he's a calm man, Roberto Cerniotti. Didn't panic when they were really struggling. And again, just tactical chat. Nothing too big. He's not a huge motivator, but he's very, very observational in his coaching method, pardon me. This is what we saw in that second set. Much more even in terms of statistics. The Berlin side just edging things, taking their 3 aces. Of course, 4 kill blocks apiece. A number of errors. Well, Arkas making the errors this time, 6 errors from them, as opposed to the 3 from the 6-time German champions.
You're not concerned by the dig or by the receive. Make sure that you get an angle approach, because you're getting pushed down. That's when you're getting blocked and you don't have, you're too much under the ball, eh? So make sure that we get
Well, that chat with Gökhan in particular, a couple of hitting errors and saying, well, you get your angles right, you make it easier for yourself. At least easier against the big mans like Le Goff there and Carroll. So 1 set all. Interesting to see where this match is going to go now. The momentum is clearly with the visitors. Paul Lottman's going to start us from right to left in set 3. Of course, momentum with the visitors. The need for the points with the home side, without doubt. Kawika Shoji. You feel that a man of his ability should be playing in the playoffs in the top club competition in the world. And here he is on serve. Well, it's no surprise to see the Croatian setter Draguski continue. Certainly did a nice, calm, relaxed, mature job during that last set. Float serve from Nicolas Le Goff. There's Mauricio brilliantly dug down. It's a long way for Carroll up from there, and they've taken the block out. Well, some clever, clever play. They've shown how to fight in that second set. Off the fingers of Mauricio. 2-1, Le Goff again with that float serve. He hangs over the line as he hits it each time. Again blocking, and Berlin starting as they mean to go on here. Remember, it was close in the German capital last time they played each other, 3-2. And despite that lightning first set, this one you feel is just warming up. Felix Fischer that. Shoji. Oisier. Taking all the pace off the ball this time. Carroll just asking. A polite inquiry from Carroll as to the nature of the contact. Fischer does well. Just going back to that point, nice to see a calm discussion about a point between referee and captain. None of this silly arguing. That was brilliant from Fischer. Really well done by Jakubski as well, the setup. 4-2. Carroll on to serve. Shoji into the back row, having a set there. And that's just landed in. Good work from Kawika Shoji. Gökhan cutting his hand across the ball, finding the corner brilliantly placed. Good stuff from the Turkish hitter. Not great on the reception, but it's done its job. Schut to serve. Shoji. Blocked from Fischer, who's really turned up for this set. And his teammates in the substitutes box know it. Quick hands from Shoji. Very, very alert Fischer. Well, the middles here in this Berlin side, used to watching every move that Shoji makes. Perhaps looking for clues. They have another point. Oh, it's collapsing here for Arkas. Looking for the block out well on that occasion. It's now Jakubski. He waits in that front row. Shot to serve. Ahmed's down well. Kawika Shoji. Fischer. Shoji. Little bit of luck. Nicely set up. There's Lotman. Ball never got high enough really for him to hit at that angle. He was always asking a lot. Did well to keep himself in it. There's the attempt. That would have been a mightily good put down from there. Well, it would have been an ace anyway, but Fischer just puts his hand up. Moving when he shouldn't have done. First technical then, 8-5 the lead. Berlin carrying on where they left off from that last set. And Arkas, well, it's getting serious for them because they needed 3 points really tonight to make sure of qualification to the next round. This guy's team carry on, well, the maximum they'll be able to have is 2.
Okay, for example, the service is here. Eric! The service is here. Okay, this player don't know if he's out or in. This player goes. Okay, the player opposite can out or in. Okay, you must help.
Shoji. Mauricio and they're back. Well, no resistance, no block. Flying from that back row. So Jakuski comes to take up the ball. He's been excellent since his introduction. Juno it was, of course, who started as the first setter. Here's his opposite number, Shoji. Block, and I think that's in, you know. Yes, it's right on the line from Lotman. Superb strong left hand there. And suddenly, German side doing everything right. There's Ahmed. Le Goff having a set here. Goes really high to Carroll. Shoji as it comes back. Rosier took a touch. Lotman disappointed with himself. No panic though here from Berlin. There's no need. They still lead by 3. They're right back in it, 1 set all. Remember, they're playing for nothing more than pride tonight. That's a mistake. Chapkanolu. Blocked, brilliant stuff. Really well down from Eric Shoji. And in the meantime, there's no communication and a huge hole between the 6 on court for that Arkas team. Look at that. Mauricio diving, but it was too late. All plummets to the floor. 8-11. Lotman. Shoji, quick hands. Gonna have to go again. Gürkan having to set. Get their block out. And here's Kawaga Shoji. Brother waits to receive. Long. Well, his serving magic has seeped away since set 1. Just wants his side to go again, go again. Remember, he will not want to be beaten tonight for so many reasons. The same goes for his brother. Here is Kawaga Shoji. Looked like a miss. Referee calls that one right. Shoji setting wide, setting high. Rosier going wide himself. So Yiğit Gümezoglu in for Antonin Rosier. And Le Goff to serve. Shoji up the corner. Wonderful setting. And the power is just too good for the reception of Jakuski, who takes it all in the right way. What she can afford to do when you're 3 points up. Off the shoulder. Well, he did his best. Hit like a rocket. And here's Mauricio. Good stuff. Just about got the right angle on the reception. Work still needed to be done by the setter. Jakuski did it. Carroll did the rest. Berlin extending their lead now. Here is Carroll. He's led this team for many a season now. And he just gets in the way of Eric Shoji, that Shoji. And hit it home by Gökhan. Well, it's still seesawing. Lotman. Lovely setting into the corner. Shoji has to try and do the same. There's the block. Gökhan lifts it into the area. Carroll couldn't make the right pass. Here's Shoji again. Gökhan, block out. That's exactly what Arkas were looking for. They're back to within a point now. Berlin not pressing panic yet, not going to the timeout just yet, but I think it might not be far away. And there it is. It is their first timeout in this set.
Okay. Now with Taurus here, probably there are more okay, few ball back. Okay. Number 8 attack strong in the block.
So we're at a tense moment in this set. It's been an entertaining match for so many reasons. It certainly was over in Germany. Put down well by Fischer. Gökhan doesn't get the ball back. Oh, that's flown from the back row, and it's a mistake on the hit. We go to a second technical. Berlin just sway themselves in front again. And they've had most of the control for most of this third set. The question is, can they keep it through this final little period here? Serniotti's ball is doing a good job. Let's see what Hoag has to say.
Good, it's open. Good shot, good shot.
Now they have no choice but to run that. You jump and you take the inside. Make him hit the other way.
Keep that, keep serving. Keep serving, all right? Let's go. Arkas.
Well, there was a word reserved for the reserve opposite Yiğit Gülmezoglu. He's 20 years of age. Wuzier awaits on the bench to come back at a moment. Here's Ruben Schut. Good serve. Gökhan's going to get back up to the hit, though. Looks like a mistake. It's his reception, scrambled up as he got the set back. Never looked fluid. Three of them ganging up on him, making him hit high and long. 17-13. It's been good, patient and well-executed volleyball from Berlin ever since the start of the second set. Apologies to you Berlin fans, because of the commentator strikes there. Shot straight into the net. Here's Yid. Strong serve. Well taken, though, by Erik Shoji as Fischer forces it through. And there goes those rattles again. Fischer. Ah, it's long. So getting towards the business end of the set. Gökos. Gökhan. Shot. Hits it hard. Well, once they've got that reception sorted, everything else has come together for the German side. And they're now a real threat to Arkas' possible progress or not in this Champions League. Before tonight, they were the second best second place team. (2015) Arkas with all the errors and timeout. Glenn Hoag with one final opportunity to talk some sense into his players. Berlin are bossing this. Shoji looking like he could be embarrassed against his former club.
Playing very well, guys. They've been running middle against us all night. Now, that's all that scores for them. We can handle them on the outside, but right now we can't handle the middle. So we need to start doing something about it and communicate.
The Hawaiian Shoji saying we've got to fight. And Glenn Hoag quite right when he points out that they have been destroyed in the middle in this set. And to change that, here comes Mustafa Kuch, 23-year-old middle hitter. He's going to replace Hake Çapkınoglu. Well, they've got the serve back. Disappointing from Timofey Żuchowski. The cushion and the lead is good enough, though, for Berlin at the minute. This has been the most dominant that they've been in the match so far. Here's Mustafa Kuch. Spin on the ball as he serves it. There they go again through the middle. Off the hands of the block. Kuski, Carroll, chance for a counter with Shoji, and from the back row, flying through. It's a huge hit. Gökhan rising to the challenge. It's going to take a good comeback now. Can they produce it? 4 points to make up. It's a big gap at this stage in the set. Shoji to serve. Żuchowski hammered down by Le Goff. And if there was a question asked, the team with a positive response and the emphatic response is the team from the German capital. Le Goff. Shoji. Gökhan. Big chase on. Lotman and Schutt getting in each other's way. Luckily, not hurting each other. Mauricio. Well, they claim in. Mauricio spinning it. It certainly looked out from this point. It was right under the referee's nose as well. Even the line judges, who are from Turkey, let's not forget, called that out. 23-18, Berlin in control. Carroll goes long, but it's a comfortable advantage this, and it's well deserved, you have to say. They played a good game. They've done everything right. Oh, well. Might have had a point, Mauricio. Dear, oh dear. Jakuski, shot. And that'll be set point chances. 5 of them here for Berlin Recycling. Well, this very situation, if it comes down to counting points and all the second place teams win their final match, even if Arkas were to turn this around and take 2 points, it could put them in trouble. They wanted 3 tonight. Here's Shoji. There's the block, and that is set to Berlin Recycling. The brass band are quiet for once. Berlin Recycling have come from a horror set behind to lead by 2-1. Arkas need to find something very special. So 3 highly entertaining sets gone. It's 2-1 Berlin, 25-8 Storm in the first set, but then going down 24-26 and 19-25. Glenn Hoag's Arkas IZMIR need to improve, and need to improve now. Basic equation is they have to take the next set to force a decider. Back with set 4 in just a minute's time.
No, it's the same. Same. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
All ready for set 4 then. Couple of changes. Mustafa Kuch is going to start this next set for Arkas. Back comes Antonin Rouzier. And it will be Kuch who will get us underway with the first serve of this set 4. Remember, Arkas, we're wanting to win the next 2 sets and have a chance of going through to the playoffs in the CV Champions League. They have to wait and see for other results as it stands. Remember, Berlin looking to make sure they're in the CV Cup. Tchaikovsky, and it's an early miss for Lugov. Once again, though, up in that middle. Something that Arkas have to look at, have to combat. Eric Shoji takes down Tchaikovsky. They go again to the middle. Third touch it goes, it might be going long. Shoji plays it anyway. Back it comes through the middle, Kuch is there, Lugov. Tchaikovsky on the ball, this time goes out wide. Better defensive play this from Arkas Sport. Hozier, but he's blocked off. Wow. Oh, such a resilient start again from the Berliners. So strong. One apiece. Go off into Gökhan. Shoji gets it wide. Comes back. And that block 2 from 2. Mauricio in the meantime wondering what had happened. Why the whistle went when it was still going. Oh, he touched the net, that's why. Tenor wobbling all over the place. Kawika Shoji. Hozier, back it comes. Berlin block working beautifully in these opening moments. So close to being another kill. Shot there. Just not quite the right direction. 2-2. First contact's made. Bit of a lack in communication, but they'll keep it alive. Chance here for Arkas. Shoji to get on the ball. Mauricio, but back it comes. Carroll is there. Oh, they're enjoying themselves now. Well, if Berlin do in fact go through the CV Cup, watch out. This is a very, very tough pool, Pool 8. And an ace for Carroll, who just changes his approach to the line as he serves. Clever serving. The thing, Carroll, he's a clever player. Nothing's exactly the same. And he's hit that right in the middle. Eric Shoji watches on and claps his hand as his opposite number was embarrassed there. Almost the same again. Mauricio blocked. Hozier to hit. Shoji's there. Here's Carroll. Off the block and out. Berlin on fire. And it's not a happy watch for Glenn Hoag. Off the hands of Hozier. All smiles, Carroll. There's work to be done yet. Okay, and it was close, that serve. Something finally for the Turks to cheer. It really is hard to believe it. It's night and day, the way they started this match to the way they're playing now. It's gone from Berlin being the side that makes all the mistakes to the mistakes being made by the home team, and they've been dominated right through the center of the court. Tchaikovsky's been a big part in that. Well, a mistake from the middle and a rare one from Paul Lotman. Tchaikovsky there put it up nicely. And Mauricio to serve. Already down by 1 break point here, Arkas IZMIR. A little lucky with a touch on the net. Tchaikovsky can get hold of it though. Looks for his block out and gets it nicely. Well, they have had a lot of success through the middle, but shot has improved exponentially since a very poor first set from him when he didn't get a single point. He's been looking for the block out, and he's found it on many an occasion in the last 2 sets. Good serve as well. Gökhan. Out wide, 2 up in the block. There's an antenna touch somewhere. And it's out. It's come back off the block. And off Gökhan, the antenna only touching when he touches the post. 7-4. Strong service pressure from Shot. Ahmed to Shoji. That's better. Eric Shoji, no chance this time. Quick hands from Kawika Shoji. And that's the combination that caused a lot of problems early doors. Shoji to Woodzier, and of course, naturally being setter and opposite, it is the combination that should be causing the problems. Szykuski, nicely placed. Well, I think there'll be disappointment there towards Graham Vigras. Couple of steps too far forward. Wasn't well placed to receive the ball at the first technical. It is 8-5.
The point, it means the ball goes down. They're blocking well. We got to cover every single ball and make an effort to get the ball up. Now stick to your position. You know we're going to commit more. We just talked about it earlier. Come on.
Well, a visibly and audibly angry Glenn Hoag. Not seeing enough commitment from his side. Play the ball till it hits the floor, he says. And stick to your position. He said that, staring at his compatriot Graham Vigras, who was to blame for that last point, perhaps just 1-2 steps further forward inside the court, rather than looking after his position in the corner. He has to sit down at the minute. It's Ahmed, the libero, comes in. First task for Arkas is to get hold of the ball off the serve and side the ball out. Mauricio gets hold of it. Woodzier, block comes back. Ahmed. Shoji again to set for Gökhan this time. Blocked yet again, blocking brilliantly here, Berlin. Just one man up there this time, but still gets a touch. Szykuski now. Out towards Carroll, takes all the pace off the ball. Shoji's there to rescue. Brilliant rally. Woodzier, and he gets the touch. Superb volleyball from both sides. Oh, breathtaking stuff. Eric Shoji with the saving dig there. And Woodzier clever enough to know that he could do little else but get the touch off the block. Good strong serving. First bit of panic for a while in the Berlin ranks. Shoji out to Gökhan. Oh, super stuff from Eric Shoji. Lugov. High-class volleyball on show here. Kuch. Eric Shoji setting this time for Carroll. Woodzier, easy reception that time. There's Mauricio. Nobody wants this point yet. Gökhan. Shoji. Mauricio. 1 point in it. Hardly time to take a breath. Was that flinging arm of Lockman? It almost did something. So, it's been decent work since the technical from Arkas. 2 points in succession. But a Berlin side out here will see them retain 1 breakpoint lead. Awkward serve that, came off the net. And they have it. 9-7. Anger there from Gökhan. Well, Hoag will be pleased with the reaction of his players. Likewise, from the opposite side of the net, from an orange perspective, they managed to keep their noses in front. 9-7. Big fight here in set 4. Great take by Ahmed. Carroll. Well, it was almost a nailed-on ace there. Ahmed got down. Timeout's on the way here. Well, Hoag won't want any more momentum to be built in German ranks. 2 points from 2 for them there after they were cut back to just 1. Let's see what the big Canadian has to say now.
Then you cover some area. If you're inside, the ball's coming this way. If the line's open, you got to be there. Good goal is there, then move into it. And then second ball, the guy hits, and you're in the middle of the court, he hits deep line. One position, deal with it from there. Let's go.
Well, he had a bone to pick with his libero about his positioning. Of course, the save from the serve on the contact. Did well just to get to the ball. Ahmed Karataş, who's 24 now. Jakuski to keep serving. Kawikashoji, big strong hands to make the set for Gökhan, and that's well sided out. Gets the band playing again. Eric Shoji's there, Jakuski, and again that middle. Too quick, too organised, no response in the front row from Arkas. Ahmed's touch, not great. There's Mauricio's there. He wanted a touch and he's not going to get it. It's out. (8-12). Touch for Mauricio. Collides with Paul Carroll. Does get the touch out. And in the end, it was worth it. There's the touch. Just before Carroll goes down, Mauricio helps him to his feet. 9-12. Arkas certainly not at their best, but with this score, they're still in with a shout. That's Mauricio who takes it. Belly must go again. Jakuski wide. 1 touch, 2 touch. Mustafa Kuch once again taking a step too far forward. He's almost in the center of the court there. Hoag looks away, shakes his head in disappointment. It's exactly what he was telling his players a moment ago. There's a side out though. They continue to react. Still early in the set, relatively. Here's Jakuski. Fischer going. Fischer's had a brilliant game, by the way. Took a while to get going. Net touch. Hand up straight away from Fischer. It's interesting that Robert From still out injured. That was the touch, by the way, right in the centre there from the number 6 Fischer, but From still out injured, and tonight, apart from the first set, they have not missed him. There's a block. So, Is there going to be another twist in this match? An attempt just to tip the ball into space from Ruben's shot. Block was there. Berlin still lead by 2, but Mauricio on serve. If he gets it right, he's a danger. Arkas will want to take a few more risks, will want to make sure they exert the pressure. Just drops this one in front of the net. Beautifully dealt with. Koji for Rousier. It's nicely dealt with by Carol's going to get the ball straight back here. The big left hand. And Berlin are back on top again. 16-12 and bossing it. Well, they've got one timeout left to take. They trail by 4, Arkas. They need a win to improve their chances of going to the playoffs. Otherwise, they're just going to have to wait for the whole set of results to come in, whatever happens tonight. Gökhan. They could have a situation where they still go through having lost, but they will have to wait. Draw to be made later this week, of course. And that's nicely put home by Rousier. There's the pass. Straight home. Well done. Eric Shoji not getting there. Figras. Szykurski changes the direction, moves the wall, but it's a mistake. Lotman goes too long. Timeout this time from the visitors. Time to go and have a listen.
No problem. Okay, right here. It's normal to do some mistakes, okay? We play very well. Drive a mistake, we take the ball after. Okay?
Just telling his charges to calm down. Yeah, it's normal to make mistakes even when you're playing well, he says. Just make sure you get the next one. Berlin hosting the Final Four last year. Arkas haven't been to the playoffs since 2013. Haven't been to the Final Four since the year before that. And as the points go by, the chances of them making the playoffs, assuming that the other second place teams, at least some of them get good results tonight, well, those chances for Arkas diminishing. Going to be some nervous waits and checking the scores on the internet from around the continent. As it stands with that block out, Berlin Recycling on their way to the CV Cup. Well, a reminder, wherever you're watching around the world, that Match of the Week returns tomorrow night as well. It'll be the final round of matches in the group stage for the women. We'll be in Novara in Italy as Vakifbank from Turkey, the visitors. Nice tip into space. I can tell you that there are a couple of changes on the way pretty soon for Arkaspor. Yiğit is ready, and the reserve setter, Muzaffer Yunet, the 18-year-old, is ready to get a number as well. Difference is 2. Gökhan, Turkish hitter, wearing number 8 to take the ball. Needs a good one. It's decent. Eric Shoji takes Sikuski, though, goes out wide. Looks for Cowell, who's blocked. The hands of Kawiga Shoji. Sikuski. Messy, but it's still going. Sikuski again. Carroll just looks for space. Shoji is there. Ahmed doing the hand setting this time. The libero, and they get the block out. Back level again. Oh, there could be another sting in the tail here. And that double change we thought was coming has just been asked to stand down. There's been some sort of reaction on court. From 3 down, back level. And Berlin, having done their job, kept the lead throughout the set, have been levelled off here. They want to side this ball out desperately. Here's Gökhan. Oh, it's an ace! An Arkaspor lead! Timeout Berlin, and it's now Roberto Cerniotti who has work to do. Oh, adrenaline pumping through the players of Arkaspor. Out of your picture, Shoji marching off, getting the crowd going.
Probably you have one block, don't attack, only approach. Okay? We return.
So Cerniotti calm as always. I can tell you wasn't calm right in front of the commentary position here, where the Arkas bench is. Oh, it was pumped. Very, very highly charged. They've got the adrenaline going now. They have a 1-point lead, and here's Gökhan. Jakuski. Brilliantly sided out. Le Goff was there. Done well to help quietly tick things over tonight, the big French middle. Mauricio has gone all across for Wuzier, who misses. And having got themselves right back in it, it's a big, big error from Wuzier. Timeout coming, final timeout of this set, maybe even the match for Arcos. Can they fourth that 5th set? They trail by 1, and the next few points are going to be decisive. Maybe not just for the match, but perhaps for their continuation in Europe.
Make sure we cover our hitters. All right, let's go.
Are blocking so well that Coach Hoag wants those hitters covered for obvious reasons. There's a lot that's coming back at the minute. Both timeouts used. The second referee just making that pretty clear to Hoag and his coaching staff. Paul Lottman to serve. Berlin lead by a point and 2-1. Kawika Shoji against his old club, finds his middle hitter. Mustafa Kuch alongside Gökhan to do the business. So Kuch to take serve. 20 points all. Atatürk Volleyball Salonu has been entertained tonight. Jakuski, Carroll, right on the money, the big left-hander. I know there'll be quite a few of you waking up very early down under in Australia to keep an eye on his progress. You'll be pretty happy with what you're seeing. Shoji having to go on two there. Only option he had, really. Reception wasn't great. The United States international knew exactly what he was doing. Saw the space, went for it. Brilliant from the former Berlin setter. 21 points each. Joao Bravo. He's going to come on to receive in a minute. That's put down. Oh, so tough to make the third touch. They're not happy. They think that's a carry. Argument between the two Americans, Shoji and Lotman. Not a great attitude from Shoji. You can understand he's angry. He thinks that has come from way behind the arm. And certainly from his angle, you can perhaps see why he thinks that. The contact, though, is once the ball has gone past 90 degrees. Back it comes again. Mauricio forces it through, and he had to. Really did have to keep the hopes alive. The momentum was going all away from them there. Now Rouzier is going to come back for Bravo now. Mauricio to serve, 22 points all. Tense, tight. Jakuski, oh, missed. Huge miss. And at the wrong time too from Paul Carroll. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Jakuski sets it wide, Carroll goes long. And suddenly Arkas lead, 23-22. 2 more points from here. Another break point from here. And we'll be going to a decider. The Germans just want to side this ball out. Shoji doesn't want to lose against his former club. Jakuski, not sure that's gone high enough, has it? Oh, all sorts of confusion, has to go over. Jakuski takes control wide, Carroll, and that's it, 23 each. Errors in defense there from Arkas. Carroll making sure he got the block out. That's all he could do. The ball was dropping at a rate. Wasn't quite high enough for him to hit down. Shot going long. And that'll be set point Arkas sport. So now a side out is mandatory really for Berlin, should they wish to take 3 points. Arkas supporters on their feet. Graham Vigras with a chance to take us to a decider. Jakuski comes back. Vigras now having to set into the corner. There's the chance. And they've got it. 2 sets all. It is a tiebreak, just as it was in Berlin. And Arkas Spor give themselves a chance of going through to the playoffs. What a match here at the Atatürk Volleyball Hall tonight. Arkas are still pumped. Shoji in conversation with Hoag out of your picture. This is how it stands tonight. Another half an hour played there, 25-23. Arkas coming from behind, 2-2. They can refine the dominance they found in set one instead of the mistake-ridden volleyball we've seen throughout this match since then. Then they could have a good chance of taking the 2 points and going through to the playoffs. Cerniotti's team will want to stay calm. They've played well, they've got themselves back into the game. Couple of errors at the wrong moment just gave it away for them. It's tense, it's tight, we're back with the decider in just a couple of minutes' time.
Chi è la palla?
Well, the mascot's travelled a long way. All the way from the Volleyball temple. Not so far from the Mitte region and the Prenzlauer Berg region of Berlin, the capital city of Germany. What a match we've seen tonight. Statistics from set four, well, nowhere near as entertaining as the actual action that we saw, but look at those errors made. Two. Berlin up there with the blocks, 4 kills, but so strong in every other part of the transition play as well. Lots of blocks that didn't end up as kills and forced Arkas to go again. It's 2-all. And now a race to 15 to see who takes 2 and who takes 1 tonight. Now the fact that Arkas have managed to pull it back, get that point is going to help their cause anyway. But if they can take 2, pardon me, it's better than 1. Berlin, of course, want as many points as possible to make sure that they have an opportunity to go through into the next level of continental competition themselves. Of course, with them we're talking CV Cup. The band hoping to play the right tune for those in blue. Now a quick look around. Koch stays in the middle for Arkas, who start this set as they started the last set. Jakuski's obviously going to continue. In fact, it is the same 6 that starts for Berlin as started set 4. It'll be Paul Lotman of the United States of America, the man they signed from Azeko Rezovia in Poland before the season to get us underway in the decider. 2 sets all here in Turkey. Kawi Khashoggi, Antonin Rousier, and it's a side out straight away for Arkaspor. Well, whatever happens here tonight, it's been a great fight from both sides. Both have had bad moments, poor moments, mistake-ridden moments. They've both managed to put those to the back of their minds and continue. Rousier going long there. He should have not had his best night, apart from that stunning first set. It's 1 point all. Rotation fault from Arkaspor. Second referee, Rapisarda from Italy, just explaining that. Kawi Khashoggi coming over to argue the point. Well, now Glenn Hoag comes over for his take. Have we got everybody in the right position, or was it an early movement? Still Shoji talks to second referee Arkas IZMIR. The decision's been made now. They've got to make sure they're in the right place for this next play. Are you sure? Doesn't want the same error again. 2-1. Anthony Mouzier apparently in position 2 there, when he shouldn't have been. And all of that talking, all of that delay, all of that build-up, all helps that to happen. No situations, accept the problem, find out what was wrong, correct it, and go again. The delay, I can assure, doesn't help. That's better from Mauricio. Gets it right this time, finishes it off too, gets the side out, and Arkas have to go from here. Decent start from Berlin though, 3-2 their lead. Good angles on the set and the hit. Took the block out of play really. In the meantime, with everybody lost in their rotation, Shoji and company just making sure that they're in the right place. It's Gökhan who should take the serve. Now it seems Berlin are unhappy. Now, has there been a mistake made somewhere here? Well, you heard it. Number 5, Mauricio, hitting the ball there, putting the ball home. Referee just wants to carry on. Well, the Berlin side are right. But of course, once they corrected the rotation, you would have assumed that he was in the right place. Still, we're going to argue about this. Of course, all these points at this late stage matter. Well, it all boils down to that play 2 times ago. Yeah, and the Italian coach Cerniotti is now saying that if it's been the whole team out of rotation since the start of the set, then they should go back to 0. That's what he's asking for. Well, Shoji says we should replay the point. The Berlin side saying they should be back to 0. In the meantime, the referees, I'm afraid, Daniele Rapisarda hasn't covered himself in glory there. Doesn't look like he spotted the error, with 5 and 8 being in the wrong positions in the rotation. That's Mauricio and Gökhan. And it looks as though Arkas, if they have been out of rotation since the start of the set, are going to get off lightly here. It looks as though it's the last point that's going to go against them. And it's going to be 4-2 to Berlin. That's if we ever get going again and the arguing stops. Shoji being called to the referee's chair to say stop. And someday we've got to get on with this game. In the meantime, they're studying each point backwards, each rotation back, to try and find where the error was made. And I think we're going to settle on 4-1. Finally, Arkas are going to check that they are in the right position from now on. What a mess. That's where we should be. And I'm afraid this is the problem when a second referee doesn't spot this error early on and you play 1 or 2 points more. Where do you take it back?
Okay, but you got the point, so now we go back, right? We go back. Okay.
Shoji directing his team. Looks as though we're in the right place. And thankfully, the referee's whistle's going to blow again. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. 4-1, Berlin lead. Shoji. And it's a touch on the back row, when perhaps it didn't need to be made by Nicolas Le Goff, but everybody just would have cooled down again. Around 5 minutes without any play. And in the meantime, again, there's talk with second referee to make sure everyone's in the right place once more. Not a good night for Arkas IZMIR. He's having a nightmare of it. And not enjoying it, I don't think, either.
Push the buzzer.
Okay.
Okay, 4.
It's got so serious that the first referee's come down to have a look for himself. Goran Gradinsky.
What was wrong?
Number 12. Number 12 needs to clear service.
Number 12.
Yeah.
Who served?
Yes, and push the buzzer. Number 7. Number. Yeah.
Confusion.
This is Arkas.
Now looking back at each.
Service.
Okay, and who
Okay.
served? Who served?
Who used service?
Who served? Who served?
Number 7.
Number 7.
Yes.
So that was mistake.
And-
Okay. The result is now 4-2, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of thinking there, 4-2. Shoji tries to calm down. I can tell the crowd were getting a little angry as well there. I think we're all right, are we? Well, the score's showing 4-1 still, when, according to the referee, it should have been 4-2. If you're confused at home, I can tell you there's a lot of players, coaches who feel the same out here. Now, 4-2 on the scoreboard. And we're good to go. Here's Kuch. And that's long. No touch on the way through. That's a point for Arkas. And their supporters who are angry about the error being pulled up late, they'll feel that's justice. Of course, no fault of the Berlin side here. The error wasn't spotted, it was down to the referees. Jakuski, nice hit and well sided out. 5-3, they keep their lead. Shoji changes direction brilliantly. Here's Eric Shoji. Jakuski, Carroll can't get himself set up to hit that one right. Shoji through the middle, and Vigras is there to give Berlin a bit of their own medicine. Good take. Took a touch. Did it need to take one? Glenn Hoag certainly didn't think it did. You can see him cursing Gurkhan there. (6-4). Remember, any sort of advantage in this set is magnified. We only played a 15. Side it out. Mauricio. Aced. Wow. That's a good one. No comeback from that from the Brazilian. 6-6. The match starts to get its momentum back till timeout is taken by Berlin. Roberto Cerniotti sits his player down.
Continue to take all time for the service, and we attack in service. Don't afraid to serve. Please. Okay. Control primo tempo only in perfect situation. Okay. After ready, always for primo tempo. Back.
We're going to go again. All square and one timeout taken. 6-6. Remember, for Arkas, it's a possibility of reaching the playoffs that is at stake. Either way, they will not find out until the round of matches finishes tonight. Jakuski. Gurkhan. I have a feeling he's missed that. He has. I remember what Cerniotti said in the timeout there. Don't be afraid to serve tough. They need to keep that aggression going. Managed to counter-attack this. There's Le Goff having a set, blocked off. In the meantime, while all that was happening, the sports director of the Berlin club came to talk to his coach Cerniotti. Cerniotti again now in the ear of the second referee. He's obviously spotted something with the early errors in the rotation that he still wasn't happy enough. And of course, it's all a bit late to go and correct it again now, if there is indeed another problem. 7 each. Jakuski. Oh, and put home just by Goff. Very, very fine touch to the ball. outsmarted the block. It's halfway, we go to changeover, 8-7. Arkas just about in the lead. Well, there's been no shortage of drama today, has there? At all. A lot of the time, even those on court haven't been too sure what's been happening in the last 15 minutes or so. 8-7. Visitors have the serve though, and here's Paul Lottman. And remember the points, it's a distribution of 2 or 1. Depending on whether you're the winner or the loser of this set. Important for 2 different reasons. CV Cup for Berlin, Champions League maybe for Arkas. Eric Shoji, bump setting for Schut, 2 is blocked, but it goes out. 9-7. Or 9-8, pardon me, I should say. 9-7, 9-8, where are we? 9-7 it is, indeed. Even the score's flashing wrong. Referees and officials having a nightmare tonight. So the visitors lead by 2, and it's getting to a very, very important point in the match here. Arkas still not out of the Champions League until we see all the results, if they lose this. So no immediate panic, it'll be a nervous night. Berlin hoping to be in the draw for the CV Cup. That's long, although Lottman says it's in. Or they scream it's in fact. Cerniotti in the ear of the second referee. Let's have a look. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's a bad decision. That does look in and on the line. Rousier serve. Taken down by Eric Shoji. There's Carroll, gets his block out. 10-8. Mistake on reception. Long pass by Rousier. Blocked out though. And Arkas fighting here, as you'd expect them to have to do in front of their home fans. Can't be easy for either set of players after all that's gone in the last 15 minutes or so. Refining those concentration levels. We've been here for 2 hours and a quarter now. This is Gökhan Gökers. Good serve, very good serve in fact, but it's nicely taken. Paul Carroll there. Kawika Shoji. Big one-hander, huge dig. Carroll trying to keep it alive, but the flag goes. And Jankowski's on that. He's in trouble, pardon me, here. It's going to be a yellow card. Remember, it has to be played around the antenna. And that one was an easy one. Well, of course, referee tonight from Serbia, Goran Gradinski. Setter from Croatia, so able to converse in Serbo-Croat and get his message across. Doesn't want to see any more of that petulance. 10 points all. It can still go either way, this. Hugely entertaining match in the CV Champions League. There's a waste of a serve from Gökhan Gökers into the net. Might have been a loss, an unexpected loss in the Bundesliga at the weekend, but Berlin have shown some great fight tonight, certainly after starting in nightmarish fashion. 11-all. Carroll goes long with the serve. Substitution then. And it's just to get control of this rotation. Musafer Yunet, the reserve setter, is on, the 18-year-old. In the meantime, there's a problem with the software. Well, Glenn Hoag was meant to make 2 substitutions. He was meant to have a setter in this rotation. Now, I think he's saying to Yiet that he is going to be the man, to set here. Second referee not letting him make that second substitution. Again, Daniele Rapisar there. Sorry, it's not an easy job, has it, being the referee, but tonight has not been his best night. Well, there's no chance to make a set in the end, because the ball was hammered down. Now they can make a reverse substitution instead of the reserve setter, Yunet. They can control the rotation by bringing back in Shoji, who is, of course, the preferred man. He's in the front row here. As a waste of a serve at totally the wrong time from Schutt. Takes us to 12 points all. Nothing giving here. Kawika Shoji to serve against his old club with his brother on the other side of the court. Jakuski blocked out from Lotman, who was quick onto it, very quick hands. 13-12. Nice and high. Exactly what he was doing there. And Felix Fischer takes up the serve. It's a floater. Deep into Ahmed. Shoji out wide for Rouzier. There's the block, but it's out. 13 each now. Whoever takes this point is going to get the first opportunity to win the match. If it goes on side out, then that should be Berlin. Arkas have never needed a break point more in this match than right now. Can Mauricio provide it from the service line? The big Brazilian serves. Out wide to Carroll, blocked out, and it's going to be a match point for Berlin Recycling Volleys. The band goes quiet, the crowd get nervy. Remember, if this goes against them, if the mathematics are right and the results go for them, they could still squeeze through, but they could do with 2, not 1. Serving for the match then, and it looks as though it's going to be that. No, still in, just about still in. No Shoji to get on the ball. Here's Rouzier, he's missed it. No touch, and Berlin win. A spectacular ding-dong battle here in Izmir. What a match, what an evening, so much confusion, and finally some sort of sportsmanship with a handshake from Coach Glenn Hoag and the rest. We didn't know which way it was going right until the final point. It has gone the way of the Germans, and what a fight back after going down in that awful, awful first set. Cerniotti saw it happening, and the delight when he turned his side round. So Berlin off to the CV Cup. Arkaspor, we might see them still in the Champions League. We'll have to see how the results go. Here, though, in Izmir, it is finished. Arkas IZMIR 2, Berlin Recycling Volleys 3. And in the sibling rivalry between the Shojis, it finishes Eric 3, Kawika 2. I don't think the referees are going to be highly popular as they walk off after this match. Some sort of applause, finally a handshake. Glenn Hoag won't be a happy man. This is how it finished. Just about kept going. Didn't even manage to get their setter Shoji onto the ball, who saved it. Rousier claiming touch, no touch given. And right to the last, every decision was contested. Even now, Cerniotti, in conversation with Bravo, not happy with how things went. He's won the duel on the day, and despite losing 3-2 at home, they reversed the fixture and win 3-2 here in Turkey. Touch or no touch, decide for yourselves. It's going to be one that the super slow-mo can only decide. It's finished there on the night, 3-2. Berlin Recycling Volleys take the 2 points back to Germany and head most probably into the CV Cup. Well, thanks for joining us on Match of the Week. Remember, we're in Novara in Italy tomorrow night for the final match of the women's round. It will be Novara against Vakufbank. For now, though, from Turkey, we leave you after a dramatic encounter and say goodbye.